We now have a talk on work culture at Microsoft. I welcome our speaker for the session, Mr. Ronak Sakoja, software engineer at Microsoft. He is an enthusiastic programmer and has a keen interest in developing applications that solve real-world problems. Sir, we are glad to have you here with us today. I hand over to you for the session.
Thank you so much, Neha. I hope I'm audible and my video is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Great. So welcome all of you to the event. First of all, thank you organizers for hosting this wonderful event. And I love the whole idea, the whole concept of having people from the industry speak directly to the students and tell them about their experiences and how the corporate, how IT sector is actually in India at least. So thank you for that. I'll start with telling a bit about myself, and for that I'll just share my screen and uh, you know show you across my portfolio website that I have. So that'll give you a good idea about what I do. So yeah, I request all of you to mute yourself unless you need to ask any questions when at the end I'll give you time to ask questions. So I'm Ronak. I currently work with Microsoft in the Azure team. I love to automate things with code. Some of the simple things I used to automate during my college time was, during Diwali, we used to send WhatsApp messages to our close friends and families saying Happy Diwali and giving all the greetings and all. What I did was create a small script on WhatsApp web to automate that task, and it used to ping everybody with their name. So let's say, hey Neha, happy Diwali to you and your family and stuff like that. A very basic thing, but it gives me happiness when I try to do stuff like that. Probably if I did it manually, it would have taken me an hour or so. But I took 3 or 4 hours to write that script and just to give me that happiness. So I love to automate things with code. I love attending hackathons. Right from my first year, I have been to around 20 plus hackathons, most of them in India, but a few of them outside. I went to Finland and Canada for 2 hackathons, uh, and we probably won a prize in Canada at the Hack the North, but nothing in Finland. Anyway, I love to travel, not only for hackathons and events, but apart from that, I love to travel. And this is my portfolio website, ronaksakuja.github.io. You can just have a look at the projects that I have built or the talks I have done. So you'll find plenty of material on how to crack coding interviews or my experience during interviews and stuff like that in the talk. So I'll not be telling that on in this talk because pretty much everything is already out there. So that's about me. Um, I'll start with how things are at Microsoft. So uh, I must say that the work culture at Microsoft, you all must have heard, is really very great.
Hello.
Yeah, hey Badra, can you please mute yourself? Thank you. So yeah, coming back. So the work culture at Microsoft is like really very great, and the thing that I love about is how our teams and managers ensure that work-life balance of all employees is maintained. There's no strict timings in office. There's nobody telling me to log in at 9 o'clock in the morning and sign off at 5 o'clock in the evening. Nothing like that. I can log in at whatever time I want to. I can log off at whatever time I want to. One misconception among people is that IT sector is like 9 to 5 jobs. It is not like that at all. It's pretty chill, and you get to work the number of hours you want to. I guess nobody's even counting the hours nowadays in all the like top companies or even startups. All they want is that this is the work you need to do in this week. You do it in 1 day or 5 days. It's totally your wish. That's how things work. So in Microsoft, work-wise, if I say there are two divisions. One is the cloud and AI, and the other is entertainment and devices. There are hundreds of teams in both these divisions in India and abroad. How it works is usually there's one team in India and one team in US that work in sync, and just this is done so that the support can be provided for 24 hours and nobody has to be up at night to provide support if there is any bugs or any failures in our code. So that's how things work. And majorly, the advancement is going on towards the cloud and AI sector. I mean, I know most of the work that is going in cloud and AI because I work in that area. Entertainment and devices mostly works on all the Surface devices that come out, or Xbox devices, or even there's the M365 subscription that is being marketed a lot nowadays. That part also comes in E plus D. Teams, which is being heavily used nowadays because of thanks to COVID, also comes in the E plus D, or entertainment and devices division. So all non-cloud and AI stuff comes in E plus D and Microsoft. And Azure, you might have heard of cognitive services and stuff like that. All that comes in C plus AI. So, what is Microsoft doing in cloud and AI at the moment? There are a lot of secret projects that are going on, a lot of, intense research work trying to do stuff that nobody has done yet. What Microsoft loves is, I think in the past, in the time when Satya Nadella came in, what they're trying to do is, okay, we have two divisions, but we do not want these two divisions to operate individually. We want that whatever work is happening in C plus AI should also impact the work in E plus D. Uh, right now, what you all must know what Facebook did, right? They created a new brand, Meta, and they said that there's a metaverse, is kind of a VR world that will exist, and we'll be talking to people in that. So Microsoft just stepped foot in that metaverse and said that what we're trying to do is we'll have teams, and people will be able to interact using their VR headsets in teams, in virtual reality, in the metaverse, basically. So this is the part where you might require some AI, and you obviously need devices teams, and the team which works on teams. So a lot of collaboration is going on in Microsoft. Earlier it was not the case. Earlier, if one division is doing something, the other division was least concerned about that. So a lot of collaboration. It's not that you are bound within your own team. You work with various other teams across organizations, and that's how things are. So it's not that you go into this company and you are bound to a particular product that you are in. You're always learning, and there's so much of new things going on every time that you know probably you never feel that you're not learning enough, or you're not growing enough in such companies. So one thing that I know of is like a very interesting part is on Azure. What Microsoft is like growing pretty fast on Azure. They want to become the number one cloud providers. Right now, I guess Amazon is at the top of that list, but Microsoft is a good competitor. Uh, so what we're doing is we're trying to make platforms on Azure. So if you have ever used Azure, let's say you create a new virtual machine. It asks, okay, which image do you want to install in this? So there are a lot of preset images that already exist for VMs. Similarly, there are a lot of, so not only if you don't take a virtual machine, you can just onboard a complete platform. Let's say, imagine if I could say, if I'm a restaurant, and I want a home delivery system for my restaurant configured, what I would do is I would go to some software engineer and I'll ask them to build it. So what Microsoft is doing for various other industries, not restaurants at all, they're trying to build a platform which can be deployed on Azure. And as a restaurant owner, I'll go on Azure. I'll say I want a platform booking system, and it will provide me with a complete backend or a complete platform, maybe a full stack thing, with the whole system which I can modify on my own, completely configurable, and I just need to onboard my database to that platform, and I'm done. So this is one example that Microsoft is not working. I just use this example to try to simplify what things are. But it's happening at the scale at agriculture, or oil and gas companies. Let's say big agriculture companies. Adani Group is one of them. They want to have some software, and all the AI stuff that Microsoft is doing. They want to onboard their company onto that. So Microsoft is like developing one platform for that. Oil and gas companies. There are hundreds of companies of oil and gas. Let's say Chevron, Total. These are companies based in US. Currently, all these companies have their databases and all the work streams on prem, that is on physical devices that are kept in their in their locations. We want them to move to Azure. So what we are doing is we are making this platform on Azure that these companies can just go on, log into Azure, say that we want a oil open energy platform. That's what we call it, and they'll directly get a completely functioning platform, a backend stack, which they can directly onboard to. This is one of the project I am working on. It's an open source project. We are working with Amazon. We are working with IBM. So it's kind of a collaborative project. So earlier Microsoft had an image that Microsoft is like very close in doing stuff inside. They're not open source and stuff. But now they're trying to enhance their image into open source, as in they're saying, okay, we work with Amazon, IBM, Google Cloud. We three all together will build a common platform, open source, free for our customers, and then you know, uh, then probably we'll have more customers use it. So the difference between Amazon and Azure on this, since it's a joint project, Amazon will use its own resources and Microsoft will use its own resources. Just that is the difference, nothing else. So these are the things that Microsoft has been working on. I'm not sure how cool this would sound to you, but in reality, it's really cool to work on this scale. And imagine the on personal projects when I used to work, I never thought of scaling and how much load would the system handle. But now, now working on things that would have like billions of requests coming in, and that level of scale, I at first I was not able to understand what is the level of that scale that we are handling, and how each and every line of code that we write should take into account the scale that is coming on the system. But with time, with learning, you get to understand how to build scalable software, and building software that is resilient to you know any failures that might happen. So uh, as a student, you all might not understand these things. It might be at a superficial level for you. If I just tell you to write a API, you just open PHP or Node.js or any language of your choice and just write a simple API, and will be okay. It works because you tested it. But it's not like that at all when working on systems that scale at the level Microsoft works. So this is one important thing you need to work in a company, be it a startup or be it a big company. You'll understand a lot of things that you probably cannot ever learn on personal projects. So that's how it is. Work culture wise, uh, one thing I want to say is it's pretty chill. If you like, if I'm feeling sick in the morning, I'll just ping that, okay, I'm feeling sick, I'll just log in at 12 o'clock in the morning, and it's totally fine. Nobody's saying that, here on this day you logged in at 12, that's now that's I'll take a half day of yours. It's nothing like that. It's completely okay if I just complete my work in the given time frame, and even if I don't, there's nobody punishing me for that. It's just that I need to ensure in future that my work is complete on time. That is all. So that's how things work. If at all, any of you have any fear in mind, how corporate would work, and if you have this fear that on joining companies they'll just make you do a lot of work and you'll have no life and stuff like that, it won't be the case for sure. Like, I can assure that. uh, Other than that, as a student, what how you can associate with Microsoft is the program called Student Learn Ambassadors program that Microsoft runs. It's been running this program since the past few years. I was a part of this program during my college. I graduated in 2020. Uh, in this program, you get to experience what Azure is, and you get around $150 of credits every month on Azure. You try different things out. You make your projects. You host them on Azure because you have the credits, and you get to talk to a very amazing community out there, and you get mentors directly coming in from Microsoft. So right now, when I started working, one thing I did was to start mentoring people, mentoring students who are part of the student ambassadors program right now. And probably just because of that, today I'm here talking to all of you uh, about the work culture. So do take a look at the student ambassadors program, sign up and see how you can contribute to the community, how you can help Microsoft achieve its goal to empower everyone throughout the world. And definitely you will be growing once if you join this program and learn. For professionals, so joining Microsoft as a student or as a professional is a totally different ballgame. As a student, there are openings. So if you are in your, I guess if you're in final year, there was an opening 2 or 3 months ago that came out, which asked all the students to apply on the careers page. And then they got a link for a coding round. There was a 2 or 3 question coding round followed by virtual interviews. For third year students, you'll get a, just stay active on LinkedIn. Probably that's the only place where you will get all the updates regarding any openings at Microsoft. Stay active, and next year when you are in your final year, you'll get a opening that will be there just for you that you can apply on. So keep looking out. For those who are in second year right now, keep looking out next year for any openings that come out. And by next year, I mean the next. Uh, I mean, if you are in second, if you're in third year right now, like I would say both. If you're in third year right now and fourth year right now, still keep looking out if there are any openings that come out for your batch. And if you're in second year right now, just be aware next year that there will be openings at some point of time that you need to apply onto. For professional folks, it's a totally different ball game. There are openings already out there. You must have 1 year of work ex outside after your college. That is, if you are, I guess, if you graduated in 2020, then you can, apply to Microsoft openings right now. Uh, you'll find a lot of openings which mention that you should have 1+ year of work experience, and either go ahead and apply or ask any Microsoft employee for a referral, any employee that you know, because referral ideally is something that I want to refer this guy because or this girl because I know that he or she worked really well on this project of his or her, and you know, and I personally vouch for that person. So that's how a referral works. So uh, some people do refer people based on their profile. If anybody, let's say anybody on this call messages me tomorrow, hey Rona, can you refer me? I'll just not go on referring anybody. But if you just mention that, okay, I have this experience. I have worked on these projects, and I feel that I'm a good fit with Microsoft. So can you refer me for this role? And it's definitely not sure that I would be referring you. If I feel that you're a good fit, only then I'll refer you. And again, students, there are separate openings for you. Uh, don't just go on careers page and find any opening and uh, apply directly. You will just waste your time, and more than time, you will when you will get the rejection mail immediately after applying, you will feel that there was something wrong with your profile, but it is not. There are separate openings for students. So that's how things work. Opportunities wise, I'll take more questions on that after I finish. I have a video to show. I'm not sure how many of you. Microsoft has like 3 or 4 offices for development center in India. The main campus is in Hyderabad. They have 3 or 4 big buildings. They have a really huge campus. So I'm not sure how many of you know. Even I've never been, but BITS, Pilani, or IIT Bombay have their huge campuses. Uh, Microsoft campus in Hyderabad is as huge as theirs, and there's a lake inside the campus as well. There's a huge cafeteria. All food is free of cost. On each and every floor, there's a fridge filled with all the cold drinks and juices and lassi and whatnot. You get fresh fruits every morning, and uh, you know you get a tea or coffee whenever you want and all that stuff. So it's offices are pretty cool. I haven't got a chance yet to go to the office after joining full time. I interned at Microsoft as well in 2019, and that was the time I went to the Bangalore office. So one is in Hyderabad. In Bangalore, they have 3 separate buildings spread out in the city, 3 separate offices. In Noida, they recently opened 2 more offices. One of them you might have seen on probably LinkedIn or some YouTube video of Microsoft. They have this huge uh, Taj Mahal themed office. I'll show you a video if you haven't yet seen that. So it's a really beautiful office with uh, a very ethnic theme, and it shows a sense of, it gives a sense of luxury to that office. And the best part, there's one experience that I want to share. So while I was interning at Microsoft, our office was in a place called Belendu, and we were staying at a place called MG Road. The distance wise, it was probably around 10 to 12 kilometers, but Bangalore, traffic situation is really very bad in Bangalore. And for that 10 to 12 kilometers during peak office hours, that's in the morning or in the evening, 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, it takes around 2.5 hours to make that travel. So that was a pretty hectic one. One day I decided that, okay, I'm not going back to my hotel. I'll just stay in my office for the whole night and see how things are. So offices, each and every floor has a sleeping room with 4 to 5 beds. I knew that, and I carried my clothes along. Everybody was leaving around 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, and I was like, I'll just come late and try to not tell anybody at that point of time. Uh, Once everyone went, I just went to those nap rooms and lied down, and I slept the whole night in that nap room. And the next morning, I literally was 7 o'clock in the morning. I was brushing in the washroom of the office, and people coming in seeing what is this guy doing even. Doesn't he have a like brush at his home or what? So that's how it was. I then took a bath in the office as well. There was a gym. There's a cult fit gym in the office in Bangalore, and uh, that was one day, and I felt pretty awesome because I did not did not have to travel to and fro. That's 2.5 hours one side. It saved a lot of time. Next day, I went back to my room. I packed a whole bag for 6 days of clothes and then went to the office. I stayed in the office 6 days straight, and nobody got a hint of that. And I saved on a lot of time and a lot of headache of traveling, and I could do a lot of work late at night in the office. Offices are open 24/7, so nothing to worry about that. That was one story, an incident I wanted to share of how cool everything is. Yeah. So next, I'll just share my screen with you all. I'll just show you how office looks, the Noida office one. So just give me a second. Mhm. So that was a small glimpse of. Just a second. Yeah. So that was a small glimpse of the Taj Mahal office that Microsoft newly launched. I guess in the past 2 or 3 months. And I do not work there. I work in the Hyderabad office, but I've been to this office, and honestly, it's as beautiful as it is, being shown in this video. So uh, I would say it's a great place to work. Definitely not scary, uh, not somewhere where I am very loaded with work, and no, I don't have a life outside work. I have a wonderful life outside work. I love to work out. I cycle a lot, and it's never been the case that I would have said that okay, today I don't have time to cycle or work out because there's too much load on the office. It's never been the case. So that is it. Yeah, that is all from my end. Now I'm open to questions if you have any, and I'll be happy to respond. I see no questions at all. So I guess my talk was not that enticing to you to join Microsoft, is it? All right then. I guess that is all. The student ambassadors program you can apply anytime. It's open throughout the year, so you can just apply anytime to that program. There's nothing to worry about. You can contact Gotham, who I've been in touch with from the organizing team. He is the student ambassador, and he can help you out more on that. All right then. Thank you all. I'll just ping in my LinkedIn URL. Just send me a connection. Probably type a message that you attended the call so that I have that context that who you are whenever you message me in future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for the session. I'm
Thank
sure
you.
we all got to know a lot about the work culture at Microsoft. Once again, thank you, sir, and thank you to all the participants for joining the session.
Okay then. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
2 kilometer